y'all doing? My name's Cowboy Chris, and this is my story. It all started when I was 5 years old. I lived on a ranch with my pa and my sister, and we had cows and horses and ducks and chickens and pigs. And there was this one horse that I loved so much. Her name was Old Paint. Now, Old Paint and I thought that's what I wanted. Now, one day, my pa, he came up to me and said, Cowboy Chris, that's my name, you know. Cowboy Chris, which one of these horses would you like to ride? And I looked at the Palomino, and I said, nope. I looked at the Shetland pony, nope. I looked at the old gray mare. The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. And I said, no. And then I looked at Old Paint, and I said, Paul, that's the one I want, Old Paint. He said, that's what I thought. And he gave me a little wink. And then he turned to my sister, Cowgirl Clarissa. Now, Cowgirl Clarissa was 10 years old, 5 years older than me, and sometimes she could be mean. Once she put a snake in my boots. Another time, she put a porcupine in my hat. It took me a week to get those quills out of my hair. But she was pretty smart. And she could see like a deer in the daytime, like an owl at night. And she did take care of me after my mom died. Well, anyway, he said, Cowgirl Clarissa, which one of these horses would you like to ride? And she looked at the Palomino and said, nope. She looked at the Shetland pony and said, nope. And she looked at the old gray mare. The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. And she said, no. And then she looked at Old Paint and said, Paul, that's the one I want, Old Paint. And it made me mad, because Paul could give her Old Paint if he wanted to. And Paul, he looked down at me and saw how sad I was, and he just looked at me and gave me a little wink. And then he turned to Cowgirl Clarissa, and he said, Cowgirl Clarissa, you know your brother wants Old Paint. She said, oh, Paul, I just was kidding. I really want the Palomino. And from that day on, me and Old Paint were all together.
I got a horse that looks so pretty that everybody here in the whole darn city is so jealous that they're about to faint. But my horse is a one-man steed, and I'm a man with just one need. Ain't ashamed to say her name's Old Paint. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. Shout it for all the world to hear. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. Then I'll shout it in your other ear. My horse and I, we ride along, we harmonize on a song. We chat a while about a thing or two. And before the ride is through, I look into her eyes so blue and softly say those words, I love you. Shout it for all the world to hear. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. Then I'll shout it in your other ear. Now don't you get it in your head that she would go and you instead. She promised me she always would be true. And though her hoof don't wear no ring, to her that don't mean a thing, 'cause my friend, we're stuck together like glue. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. Shout it for all the world to hear. Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. Then I'll shout it in your other ear.
And when I was a little older, I started riding her and teaching her tricks. And then I was 10 years old. And we were going on many adventures together over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. But one day, something happened that changed my life forever. On a hot and dusty day, sometime in the month of May, I was fishing for a largemouth bass. Suddenly I heard a sound, and as I turned around, I smelled the smell of burning gas.
The smoke began to billow high. I ran as fast as my feet could fly. I wondered what it was that I would see. I ran and ran through the wood, past the bush as fast as I could, and as I peeked around the old oak tree, I saw fire climbing higher like a friar. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir, singing wild and free. Fire, 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 fire. I yelled for dear old Pa, I yelled for Clarissa. I didn't know what else that I could do. The house was burning down and no one could be found, but right before me was a horseshoe. I screamed and yelled with fright, I yelled with all my might, "Oh paint, I'm coming for you." The horses were running wild, and though I was a child, I held onto that shoe like glue. I saw fire climbing higher like a friar. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir, singing wild and free. The fire was so strong, it didn't take too long to burn our poor house to the ground. I yelled for dear old Pa, I yelled for Clarissa, and none of them could be found. With a horseshoe in my hand, I walked throughout the land, looking for my sister and dear Pa. I looked for my old paint, and every time I faint when I think about what I saw. I saw fire climbing higher like a friar. The heat was burning me. I saw fire climbing higher like a choir, singing wild and free.
I lost old paint, lost my pa and my sister, lost our house, and the only thing I found of my pa's was his cowboy hat, and I put it on. And then the only thing I found of old paint was that horseshoe, and I held on tight. But I didn't know where to go, what to do. So I just started a-walking. And I walked, and I walked, and I walked till I couldn't walk no more. And finally, I was so tired, I had to lay down to sleep. And I put my head on a rock, and I fell asleep. And after a while, I felt something wet on my face. And then I felt a hot breath that was like somebody who never brushed their teeth in their life. And then when I woke up and looked, I don't know if you've ever been face to face with a wolf, but it was unnerving. I tried to smile, and the wolf smiled back. Then I looked around and I noticed I was in a cave and it was dark. And I looked to the other side of the cave and there they were, 5 wolf cubs. And I smiled at them and they smiled back. And I finally figured out they weren't trying to hurt me. They were saving me. They saved my life. And before long, I became a wolf. Oh! Now, Mother Wolf, that's what I called her from then on. Mother Wolf, she used to teach us how to eat mice and toads. I don't know if you've ever eaten a mice or a toad, but it wasn't easy to catch. But I got just as good as my brother wolves. That's what I called them, my brother wolves. And we'd play together, and we'd chase each other, and then we'd growl. But after a while, their teeth started growing a little long and their claws too, and it got a little dangerous to play with them. But we always had a good time. And every night we'd go out of the cave and we'd look up at the planets and the stars. Mother Wolf would sing songs and tell us stories. I love Mother Wolf. Well, after a while, I was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and before long, I was getting too big for the cave. One day, Mother Wolf came up to me and she started nudging me out of the cave with her long nose. And I said, Mother Wolf, I thought I was part of your family. And she said, well, you'll always be a part of our family, but it's time for you to go. And I was sad at first, but Mother Wolf, she taught me so much. And I was starting to get my own mice and toads, and I found a new cave to live in, and I found some new friends to play with. But every now and then, especially on a full moon, I'd hear them off in the distance. And I'd howl back. Oh! Goodbye, Mother Wolf. Goodbye, Brother Wolves. I'll see you again. That one day, something happened, and I was chasing a squirrel up a tree when all of a sudden, I heard something that I recognized. And I looked over there, sure enough, it was Old Paint. Old Paint, Old Paint, I love you, Old Paint. So I went over there and gave her a big hug. I said, Old Paint, I missed you so much. And I asked her a question. Old Paint, have you seen my paw? Old Paint, have you seen my sister? But I could tell she hadn't seen my paw or my sister. But I jumped on her back and we started a riding. And we rode and rode and rode. And before long, we were all back together again. It was like old times. And every day we go on a new adventure over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. And before long, we were the best of friends all over again. But after a few years, Old Paint, well, she got old. And one day, she died. I felt very sad, and I didn't know what to do. And I tried to sing her song, but I couldn't sing it. And then one day, I was feeling the saddest I'd ever felt when all of a sudden I heard another sound. It was a little puppy, and it was on the ground, and it hurt his paw. His paw was bleeding because somebody had left glass on the ground. Is that where we're supposed to put broken glass on the ground? No, we aren't. And it was on a pile of trash. Now, is that where we put trash? No, we don't put trash on the ground. We put it in the garbage can. And glass, I've heard that you need to wrap it up in a box before you put it into the trash. But you certainly don't leave it on the ground. But I said, little puppy, are you all right? I said, little puppy, do you have somebody to take care of you? Little puppy, you got a name? I said, little puppy, would you like to be my faithful companion? Now stop that. Stop licking me. All right. Okay, I'm going to take care of you. Now, you know what? If you're going to be my faithful companion, I'm going to have to give you a name. Let's see. I can't call you Cowboy Chris. That's my name. Can't call you Cowgirl Clarissa. That's my sister's name. Let's see. You know, Mother Wolf, she used to come up with good names. She used to take us out of the cave and we'd look up at the planets and the stars. Star. I'm going to call you Star Buckaroo.
Star Buckaroo, that's what I'll call you. You shine just like a star, Star Buckaroo. Star Buckaroo, I'll be true we'll go on this journey, just you and I. And every night we'll sleep under the sky. We'll look and see the moon and sing a happy tune. When I see the stars, I'll think of you. Star Buckaroo, that's what I'll call you. You shine just like a star, Star Buckaroo. Star Buckaroo, I'll be true to you, and you'll be true to me. Star Buckaroo, Star Buckaroo, I'll take care of you.
So Star Buckaroo and I became best of friends, and we went on many adventures over mountains and prairies and rivers and streams. Oh, Star Buckaroo was so cute. But one night, after a few years, I had my head on the pillow. I was sleeping. And Mother Wolf came to me in a dream. Mother Wolf, I missed you. I missed you too. Mother Wolf, is my brothers still playing together and having a fun time? No, they're all grown up now. They got families of their own. Oh, would you tell them I said hi? I sure will. Cowboy Chris, I have some good news for you. What? You see, your pa and your sister, they're still alive. They are. Where are they? Oh, they're far from here. But I can show you how to get there. You can? Thank you, Mother Wolf. I love you. I love you too. Next day, I woke up and I picked up Star Buckaroo and said, Star Buckaroo, guess what? Mother Wolf came to me in a dream, and she told me that my pa and my sister are still alive. Star Buckaroo, we're going on an adventure. And the next day, we went all the way to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And the day after that, went all the way to Denver, Colorado. And when I was sleeping in Denver, I had a dream. And in my dream, Mother Wolf came to me and said, you are getting very close. Now, the next morning, we woke up and we went into Wyoming. And in Wyoming, I was feeling a little hungry. It was breakfast time. And we stopped at a restaurant. And I had some eggs and bacon and pancakes and coffee. Well, guess what? I looked up, and in the kitchen, there was a man, a cook. He kind of looked familiar to me. And then I looked over at the cash register, and that woman at the cash register, she looked familiar too. And by the time I looked back at the kitchen, that cook had come out of the kitchen and grabbed me and held me real tight. And he said, Cowboy Chris, it's your paw. And then that woman come running over to me, and she grabbed me and said, Cowboy Chris, it's your sister, Clarissa. And I took them outside, and I picked up Star Buckaroo. I said, Star Buckaroo, guess what? This is my pa and my sister. We're home.